Hello guys, I'm Chef Edwin and we are here cooking with Compare Food, and today we are doing an Easter themed meal. Let's start. For our side dish, we are using all root vegetables. Today we're using baby carrots, sweet potatoes, and turnips. To start with, baby carrots tend to be more on the sweet side and they're very delicate because they're baby carrots. For carrots, for example, I typically like to steam them because it can preserve the flavor more and the color. So yeah, it's a really good vegetable because it brings color to your dish. For our sweet potatoes, they are a little bit of more on the hard side, so we're gonna bake them for 400 degrees for 20 minutes approximately. Sweet potato is a very common vegetable. Also, it's really good to pair with other not so sweet vegetables. It's really good for caramelizing. So the flavors are very intense. It also can be seasoned with paprika and cinnamon, and that would elevate the flavors even more. Now on the turnip, they tend to be more on the sour side, so it's gonna be a mixture of sweet, sour, and crunchy. Now we're gonna start with the baby carrots. I typically like to peel the carrots just a little bit just to get some of those imperfections, but sometimes imperfections can be also really good. So I'm just gonna clean it for a little bit. Now let's talk about the steam. This is a very flavorful part of the carrot. Most people throw them away, but a good tip is we can make a pesto out of this. In this case, I'm gonna make a chimichurri. We're gonna use the whole carrot. Sweet potatoes are typically more of a kind of rugged looking vegetable. So what we wanna do, we're gonna wanna cut them in half. And then we're gonna peel them as well. But I don't know if you can see, but you can see two different colors on the sweet potatoes. You can see a very orange looking and a yellow looking color. I typically don't like the yellow looking color, so I'm gonna go one more time till my whole potato, sweet potato, is completely orange. And that's what you wanna have as your final product before you dice it. Now that we peeled the sweet potato, we want to cut these in little cubes. And one good tip, you want to make sure that every single cube is the same size. And you want to ask why? Well, the reason is because you wanted them to cook evenly. So by having the same size and the same shape, you're going to cook them evenly. And you want to look at about this size, this little cube size. Now the turnips, turnips typically are more likely cooked like mash. This time we're gonna cut them in half, and we're also gonna make the same size cubes as we did the sweet potatoes. So of course you wanna peel this. Typically if it's a sweet turnip, you can actually eat the peel. In this case they're big, so you don't wanna eat the peel because it can be a little sour. Also, when you're peeling this, you wanna go twice just because sometimes you have an extra layer of the peel, and that can be also very tough on the process of cooking. You want to make sure it looks completely white. Sometimes by looking at closer, you can see like a yellow. So that yellow means that it needs to go away. You want to make it look like it's completely white. Now we're gonna dice them. You want to make sure you dice them the same size as the sweet potatoes. Now we're gonna steam the baby carrots for about 5 to 10 minutes. If steaming is not an option, you can always boil your carrots. It's pretty much the same effect. You just want to make sure to look at the actual vegetable when it's ready, because the time of the cooking process will be different. You can always use a knife or a fork and just pinch on it, and if it goes through, it's ready. After steaming the carrots, we're gonna sharpen them just to get that extra color and that extra flavor. Now we're gonna toast the sweet potatoes in a bowl. The turnips, we're gonna put a little bit of salt. I choose pink Himalayan because they tend to be more strong and you use less. A little bit of olive oil and some pepper, and just toast it. We're gonna transfer this on a dish and put it in the oven for 400 degrees, approximately 30 to 40 minutes. After being 40 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees, we have our final product. We're just gonna stir them really good. So now we're making a chimichurri sauce. Now in this case, I'm not using parsley because I'm using the carrot greens, and I'm gonna add cilantro for the flavor, and of course onion and a little bit of white vinegar. When making your chimichurri, you want to make sure you chop the herbs very finely, or most people use a blender, but in this case we want to have that crunchy flavor on it when you get it into it. You want to make sure your red onion is chopped very finely as well, because you don't want big chunks of onions on your chimichurri. To finish our chimichurri, we're just gonna add all the greens and the onions in here. We're gonna add a little bit of white vinegar for the acidity, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper and red pepper. Mix it really good. Now we're gonna put this on the top, okay? And this is our final product. Thank you for watching Cooking with Compare. Happy Easter and see you next time.